The streets will never make you grow. It's not a seed, it's a gutter. There's no happy endings in this life. So this is my message to you. The streets will never love you back.
Hey guys, well, today I got another Beth Avenue story for you. You're gonna like this one about Anthony Spero and Tommy Pitera when they sat down for us after the second attempt on Mikey Hamster. Now, first I want to get into Instagram. If you read today's New York Post, a woman lured a man on Instagram to kidnapping in the Bronx. What happened was this guy was showcasing all kinds of money he had. He had like $100,000 in cash. This woman reaches out to him, a good-looking woman, and they set up a date. She meets this guy like 1 o'clock in the morning, and he takes her to his apartment. So he thinks maybe he's going to get laid or something. I mean, she's a good-looking girl, Spanish girl from the Bronx, and she has 3 or 4 guys that follow her to the guy's apartment. So what they're trying to do is they're trying to rob this kid for the money that he was showcasing on Instagram. She ends up going to his apartment. As they go in the apartment, 2 or 3 guys knock on the door. He answers the door and they push their way in. They push this kid into where you take a shower, and they pour some lighting fluid on him, and they throw a match with a blowtorch, and they start burning him over money. Okay, so it's in the New York Post today, and I'm sure this woman and that guy are probably going to give up who else was involved, because they're going to flip, they're going to talk, and they're not innocent. But people would say that they're innocent. When you're involved in a crime, you're guilty. That's it. There ain't no innocence. And all these other guys that get caught, you're guilty. But I wanted to share that with you. Also this week, Thursday night, I'm going to have Brian Glaze Gibbs. Brian Glaze Gibbs is Doug, a gangster, a hoodlum from back in the day. He ran the streets with dope. He committed a lot of murders. He was a badass motherfucker back then. He's a black gangster. I'm going to be interviewing him. He's an author of a book that we will get into. I'm going to talk about his life. You're going to enjoy it. It's going to be a good one. So Thursday night, 6 or 7 p.m., I'll advertise tomorrow on my YouTube channel, my IG, and my Facebook. But that's going to be a good one. So look forward to that. Now, today, I'm going to talk about Anthony Spero and Tommy Pitera. Now, as you know, Tommy Pitera, Tommy Karate, was a tough guy in my neighborhood, a mad dog killer, a stone cold killer. Now, this is the time when Joe Pizza was running around Beth Avenue, shaking down wise guys and thinking that he could just get away with anything because he was 6 foot something, 260 something pounds solid. The guy was like, boom, solid. Hit you with a shot, it'll break your face open. This is a time when Tommy Karate ends up killing Joe Pizza for Anthony Spero. Anthony Spero asks Joe Pizza to do him a favor, asks Tommy Karate to do him a favor. Joe Pizza has to go. And the way it's done is they ask Joe Pizza to take a ride with them, Tommy and 2 other guys. And that's the way it's done always. Take a ride with them. And as he takes a ride with them, Tommy's telling them they have to go do something. They got to find some guy that they're looking for. And they pull over to the side of McDonald Avenue. As they pull over, someone just hits Joe Pizza in the head, and Joe Pizza's gone. That's how fast it happens. Now, also at this time, the Bath Avenue crew, we were getting into our own troubles. We were having trouble with the kid Mikey Hamster and Bobby the Chico. The first attempt on Mikey Hamster was me and Joey Calco. So me and Joey Calco, I end up going to Manhattan. Joey Calco goes to Italy. And Paulie Galino's in the street. Paulie Galino reaches out to Tommy Karate. Tommy Karate sits down for me, and I come back to the neighborhood. Now, Joey Calco's still away. And Tommy Reynolds is hanging with us every day. Tommy Reynolds at this time was living in Jersey. So Tommy Reynolds ends up coming in the neighborhood, and he's at a payphone on Cropsey Avenue and Bay 20th Street, right next to the Cropsey Lounge. It's a bar that Sonny Giuliani owned. Sonny Giuliani is a captain in the Gambino crime family. It was a Thursday night. Every Thursday night, Sonny Giuliani had these get-togethers with other wise guys. Giorgio De Chico will come. Other wise guys in the neighborhood will come. They pay their respects. Even guys from other families would pay their respects. Sonny Giuliani would always have a big display in the Cropsey Lounge. Drinks were around the house, lots of food. And these were times when we were running around, making a name for ourselves, getting into mischief and getting into lots of trouble. And we looked up to the wise guys. And in the end, we all destroyed our lives, for sure. So Tommy Reynolds, this is when the beepers were around. Tommy Reynolds is at the payphone in front of the Cropsey Lounge. And he's beeping me and Paulie G. So I see his code, it's 357, and I see the number. So me and Paulie's Cadillac, and we drive to Bay 20th and Cropsey Avenue. When we get there, there's an ambulance there, and it has Michael Hamster on a stretcher. What happened was the incident, as we're driving there, Michael Hamster is going into the Cropsey Lounge with Giorgio De Chico. Giorgio De Chico is a captain in the Gambino crime family. And he sees Tommy Reynolds on the payphone, just staying there. He's waiting for us to call him back to let us know, he's in town and to pick him up. So we're on our way there. And Michael Hamster looks at Tommy. He says, "Wow, what are you looking at?" He goes in his face. And Tommy goes, "No problem. I ain't got no problem." So Michael Hamster walks back. As he walks back, Tommy Reynolds pulls out a 357. That was Tommy Reynolds' code. He pulls out 357 and he starts firing shots at the kid Mikey Hamster. Pop, 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 pop. And he hits the kid Mikey Hamster in the kneecap and in the body somewhere. That was the second attempt on Mikey Hamster. Mikey Hamster goes down. Tommy Reynolds takes off. He heads back to Jersey. We contact Tommy Reynolds later. He tells us the story, what happened. So Tommy Reynolds is now an outcast. So Paulie G goes to Tommy Karate and tells Tommy what happened. This is my friend. This kid Mikey Hamster went in his face and he threatened him. He said, "I'll kill you and all your friends." And Tommy Pitera is just listening to Paulie Galino. And Tommy loves Paulie. He knows he's got big balls. He don't give a fuck. And Tommy says, "I'm going to help him." He goes to Anthony Spero. And he explains to Anthony, "This is what I want to do. This kid Tommy Reynolds is from the neighborhood." And Spero says, "Yeah, help him." I'm saying, these kids, I know these kids. I know them since they're young. And Tommy Reynolds had other help too. His father, Andrew. And Andrew was very connected with the Genovese crew and the Lucchese crew. So we had friends all over. The only people we weren't friendly with was the Colombo crew. But all the other families we knew and we were friendly with. We knew Gas Pipe. We knew the Genovese crew. We had friends all over the place. And they knew us since we were a little kid. So Tommy explains to Spero he's going to go talk to Georgie the Chico. He walks over to Georgie the Chico with Paulie Galino. Paulie Galino takes the walk with him. Paulie Galino gave me this information at the time. Tommy Reynolds knows it. Fabrizio knows it. Everybody knows it. And he goes and talks to Georgie D. And he explains to Georgie, Georgie, I'm here because, Paulie's friend is Tommy. As you know, these kids are from Beth Avenue all their life. So I just want to sit down and explain to you what's going on. And Georgie's listening. And the kid Mikey Hamster's in the hospital at this time. And he explains to him, this kid Tommy came in from Jersey. He had nothing to do with this. Joey Calco and Jimmy were the first ones that did this. And, it was a surprise on Jimmy when it happened. We used that excuse. And eventually, Joey came back later. But he's telling Georgie the Chico, this kid Tommy Reynolds is minding his business. And this kid Mikey Hamster comes in his face and threatens him. I said, what would you do, Georgie? That's what Tommy tells Georgie. And he said, oh, okay. So Paulie G comes back. He tells me exactly what happened. And he said Tommy sat down for Tommy Reynolds. And Reynolds is coming back to the neighborhood. And that's when Spero and Tommy Karate put us all around them at that time. That's when we were on record with the Bonanno crime family. And we were responsible for each other. They were responsible for us. And this is the life that Paulie G wanted to get involved in. But when you're in the neighborhood and you're moving around in the streets, you need guys like Tommy Pitera to protect you. Because in the streets, the only thing that people fear is people who kill. They don't fear nice guys. They fear people who kill people. That's what the streets are all about. Well, I hope you like that story. That's a quick Beth Avenue story of what went down back in the day. That's how our neighborhood was run. And Georgie the Chico was always a nice guy to us. I used to eat at his house when I was a kid. But Tommy Reynolds was just minding his business. The kid Mikey Hamster came up to him and went in his face and threatened him. And Tommy Reynolds just started popping shots at him. But Tommy Reynolds won that sit down because of he was minding his business, and Mikey Hamster came to him. So that's what goes on in the neighborhood back in the day. With that said, I hope you like this video. To all my followers out there, I love you guys. Until the next video, I'll see you soon. And don't forget, Thursday night, 7 p.m., I'm going to be interviewing Brian Glaze Gibbs. It's going to be a good one. I hope you guys are there. I love you guys.